Welcome to day 11 of our 30-day strength and flexibility yoga challenge. This is an exciting day. It is the first day that we start working on arm balances. The first arm balance that most people explore in yoga is crow pose. If you've never done it before, don't worry. There will be drills that you can work on even as we progress into different drills for people that are more familiar with crow pose. Arm balances is a lot of weight on the hands. So if you want additional support and you have some sort of wrist brace, then you can go ahead and use it. Otherwise, let's just get started with a pretty thorough wrist warm up. Gripping into the mat, fingers are splayed wide. Shift forward and push yourself back with the grip of your fingers. Shift forward, push yourself back. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your shoulders back over the wrists, lift up the thumbs, wrist push-ups. So just peel up the heel of the palm for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit the bum back, shake out the hands, interlock all 10 fingers. Make circles in one direction and then the other. Reach both arms out in front of you. Make a tight, tight, tight fist, and then extend the fingers as much as you can. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to tabletop. Grip into the mat. Shift forward and back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come forward one more time. Really grip with the fingers, but see how far forward you can go. Really push the mat away from you as you shift forward. Be really slow and mindful and intentional here. This can be a lot on the wrists. My arms are shaking, so I really hope yours are too. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly pull back. Pick up the hands, claw them around so the fingers point the sides of the mat, and just start gentle here. That was a pretty intense stretch that we did. So side to side. Now come over to the left and same thing. Push as far to the left as you can, being slow and mindful. Slowly come back through center and then shift to the other side. Come to your depth. No rush, no jarring movements. Slowly come back through center. Right fingers turn to point towards the top of the mat. Left fingers point towards you. Lift the palm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left fingers point towards the top of the mat. Right fingers point towards you. Lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the right fingers around, sitting back on the heels again. Make tight fists and circles with the fists in one direction and then reverse. This time, release the fists and get your fingers in on the mix. And look like whatever you want it to look like. Reverse the direction. Interlock all 10 fingers, do the wave, other direction. And now back to tabletop again. I'm already feeling this in my shoulders, and we're going to now do a little more shoulder focus. So scapular push-ups, arms stay straight, no bend in the elbows. Lower the chest so it's as close to the mat as possible. And then round, protracting through the shoulder blades, creating as much distance between your chest and the mat as possible. Lower, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Round through the shoulder blades. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing your legs out around in front of you. There's a lot of core strength needed in arm balances as well, so we're going to do just that, and we're going to emulate the crow shape while on our back. So this is option 1. Tap the toes down, don't lower the upper body down as much. You can flex through the palms here, really mimic that crow shape. If you want a little bit more, you'll extend, maybe tap the toes down, keep the legs bent, and then come all the way up. Lower down, come all the way up. My foot's cramping. Lower down and up. Lower and lift. 5, use your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay all the way down. Let your core relax. Straighten both legs. Reach the arms up. Reach as much as you can. And then reach them overhead, shrugging the shoulders up by the ears. Keep reaching as you lift the arms back up. Fingers are reaching towards the ceiling. And then overhead, shrug the shoulders by ears. Lift the hands up. And bring them back. One more time. Lift and lower. And get set up for round 2 of that core drill. You can stick with that option 1 where you don't lower down as much and you just tap the toes down, or come more extended to make it more challenging. Here we go for 10 or as many as you can muster. 10, 9, 8, 7. Try to keep the lower back in contact as you extend out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross the ankles, fold forward, tuck the toes, and sit back. Rolling out the shoulders. Switch directions. And we're gonna get into our crow drills. Now again, if crow is in your practice, you can still do these progressions just to really help warm up the body. As we get older, it might be tempting to jump right into something, but I find if I don't properly warm up, I really feel it in my wrists. And I just want to save myself from injury as much as possible. If you feel warm enough and you want to get right into your crow, then go ahead. And for those of us who are absolute beginners, grab a pillow, a cushion, anything that you have in your house, because the fear of falling forward is a very real one, and it does happen for a lot of us as we learn. So I'm actually going to grab a pillow, excuse me, puppy, just so I can demonstrate what it'll look like to fall forward. And you can stack the pillows up higher, so maybe get 2 of them. Plant your hands down about shoulder distance. Bring your knees up, and for crow, the arms are bent. Straight arms is crane pose, and that one's more difficult, so we're just going to stick with crow. Now, a common problem, sorry, I have to talk about logistics, I know it's boring, but it's important. So hands about shoulder distance. Now, if you splay your elbows out to the side, you're much weaker here. So you have to hug the elbows in. I hope you can see that. This is going to help with bone stacking, and it makes everything a lot more stable as you start to shift your weight forward. A lot more strength is required here, and it's not nearly as stable. And it's going to feel a lot harder. Maybe not so much for men who have a lot more upper body strength, but for us females, we need as much help as possible. So hug the elbows in. Elbows should be in line with the wrists and not splaying out. So with that set up, hug the elbows in and bring your knees up. This will feel a little bit uncomfortable, so just recognize that you have to figure out a good place to notch your knees onto the upper arms. Some people like them closer to their armpits. Some people like to stack them closer down towards the elbows. So play around with it and find what works for you. The first step is just shifting forward and playing around with putting more weight on your hands. So shift forward and lower the hips to come back. Lift the hips, shift forward, really grip with the fingers. That's why I put so much emphasis on gripping with the fingers, to strengthen through the hands, the wrists and the forearms, because gripping is what keeps you from falling forward. If you're not using your hands, you're gonna fall forward a lot more. Shift forward, grip with your hands. Knuckles of the fingers should be lifted up, and that's what's keeping you from falling forward. Come back, give yourself a break. So that's the first drill. If you do nothing but that drill for the entire duration of this video, that is perfectly fine. Just take breaks as you need. You can come back to that core drill as well, maybe alternate. If you're ready for something more, come back to this where we shift forward, and the next step is going to be picking up one foot. Lower it down, pick up the other, lower it down, shift back. That entire while we're still gripping as much as we can with the fingers. Let's do that again. Shift forward, pick up one foot, grip with the fingers, lower it down, pick up the other foot. Lower it down, give yourself a break. If you start really feeling this in the wrists, this is the movement that we're doing in arm balances. So to counter that, we want to come into this stretch. So you can simply sit back and do that. Just do it really gentle. It's an opposing stretch, so we don't want to come to our depth, but it'll just relieve the working muscles a lot. You can also do this one, which I like, interlock all 10 knuckles, tops of the hands, straight and through the elbows as much as you can, just being gentle and mindful. So whenever your wrists need a break, come into one of these two stretches to relieve these muscles that are really, really working in arm balances. If you're ready to start exploring a little bit more, come back into our initial setup. Hands shoulder distance, wide fingers for a wider, sturdier base. Grip through the fingers. Bring the knees wherever it feels good on the forearms and shift forward. This time, maybe you pick up one foot, shift forward a little bit more, and see if you can pick up one foot, even if you just for a moment. See, I'm just picking up and tapping, and then switch sides. Tap, tap, tap. And now if you do come forward too much and you fall, you'll just fall on your face. Knees can come to the side, and then we come back into it. And you won't fall as far forward if you have more pillows. But the pillows will help keeping you from smashing your face into the ground, which again has happened to many people on their crow journey. Take breaks whenever you need. Stretch out the wrists and these forearm extensors. Take a breather. This can be very tiring. If you're playing around with picking up both feet, let's come back into it. If you're sticking it with one of those first drills, then just keep carrying on with that. I'm gonna move this pillow out of the way now, actually. Keep it there if you want the security of it. Shift forward again and protract through the shoulders. So as we did with our scapular push-ups, we want as much distance between our chest and the mat as possible. Pick up one foot, really grip with the fingers. Maybe you pick up the other foot. Keep hugging the elbows in towards one another. They'll want to splay out, but we want to squeeze them in. Lower the feet down whenever you need and take breaks. Long, deep breaths. Get set up for another set of whatever variation of the drill you're doing. Yes, you might really be feeling this in your upper arms. Squeeze the elbows, the knees together, gripping with the fingers to keep you from shifting forward too much, and sit back. If you need a break for your legs, you can come all the way down as you stretch out the wrists. Really gently, not forcing it. You could even give yourself a little massage. You build up endurance and a tolerance as you do this more. So if you're really new to crow, you do get used to it a little bit more. Let's come into another round of this drill, whatever variation you're doing. Get set up, push the mat away, grip through the fingers. Maybe you just shift forward, maybe you pick up one foot, maybe you pick up both. If you lose it, come back into it. And lower down. Something I notice that kids do a lot with this. There's a lot of different ways to do crow, and this is something that kids do, is their knees are actually on the outside of their arms. So you can try that too. If you have lotion on your legs, which I do, like wearing shorts, sometimes your legs do slide and they just go to the outside. So just notice how that feels. So you can see I'm not even balancing on my upper arms. Maybe it's too uncomfortable for you to put your knees up there. Try this variation. Again, ask any kid to do a crow pose, and this is how, I'm willing to bet that's how they're going to do it. Just to show you the difference when you set your knees on your upper arms, this is what it looks like too. But the knees can start to slide down to the sides. So there might be some crow fanatics out there who claim that it has to be done a certain way, but as with everything in life, there are multiple ways to do things. Stretch out the hands and give them another break. We're going to play around with side crow. You can stick with what we were doing if that's enough for you. Sometimes learning too many new things in one day can be too much. So you can stick with some drills that we've already done and just ignore my ramblings. Or if you're ready for something new, come into a toe stand and then bringing both hands over to one side of your body. So I'm coming over to the left side. Knees are pointing towards the top of the mat. Hands are pointing along the long edge of the mat. Now with crow, I've found that there are two ways to do this. There's an easier way where you use both arms to balance and prop yourself up, and then a harder variation where you're only balancing on one arm. So I'll show you the easier option first. So with your right elbow pushing against the outside of your left knee, you're going to lean forward so your hip, you might have to lift your hips a little bit too. Lean forward so your left hip comes against your left arm. Shift forward, you can bring a pillow under your face again. I don't know if you can see my feet too well. Maybe I'll angle a little bit more so you can see. So option to just shift the weight forward. Maybe you pick up one foot and then the other and go back and forth. Come back and take a break. If you want to explore picking up both feet, lean forward, grip through the fingers, and pick up both feet. So this is the easier side crow because again, you're in contact with both arms. Now, the other variation if you want to try it, is only having this arm in contact with the knee. So this is what it looks like. We shift forward, but this elbow stays away from the hip. Hopefully you can see that. And we lift up. So there's a lot more weight in this front right hand. Get set up again. So if you're trying this one, same thing. You can just practice shifting forward. Maybe you pick up one foot and then the other. Maybe you pick up both. Lower down. Let's everyone give the wrists a break. A gentle opposing stretch before we come to the other side for our side crow. Keep stretching out the arms. I just want to give one more option. I really like these classes to have options for beginners and more intermediate or advanced practitioners alike. With our side crow, I'm going to do this with the supported, so my back elbow is going to be against the hip as well. But something you can do from crow is once you pick up the feet, you can play around with extending the legs. And you can see that I kind of tap my toes there, so you can work up to extending them without having to tap the toes down. Or if they tap down as you fine-tune your balance, that's fine as well. Let's come to the other side for our side crow. We'll start with the option where the front elbow is against the knee and the back elbow is against the hip. Option to just play around with shifting the weight forward and then coming back, maybe picking up one foot and then the other, or maybe picking up both feet. Finding your balance point, having a pillow under your face, and for that added measure of safety, and taking a break. On this next one, I'm going to play around with extending the legs. I don't do a lot of crow pose, actually, so this is quite challenging for me. So lean forward and pick up the feet and then extend the legs. Lower down. And let's stretch out the wrists again. We're going to do one more drill, not a new one. You get to pick any of those ones that we did. Maybe you do side crow, maybe you do the core to crow crunch, maybe you do regular crow, whatever you want. You get set up. And we're going to try to hold whatever we're in, sorry, I should have said this first, for 10 seconds. So even if you're just shifting forward, you're going to shift and hold for a count of 10. Here we are. Get set up. Everyone get into it. And we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can slowly come out of it. Bring the weight off your hands. And just do really gentle squeeze and releases. And then do one of the stretch options that I've given you. There's a lot of compression in crow. It's all the front line of the body. So to relieve that, we're going to swing the legs back behind us. Come to lay on our belly. Take a cobra pose, lengthen the tailbone. Use the strength of the spine. And I bring the hands a little bit more in front of you and pushing through the hands, lift up. Puff your chest through, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep lengthening through the tailbone to take any crunch out of the lower back. And lower down to the elbows. Bring the hands and the elbows about shoulder distance apart for Sphinx. Lengthen through the tailbone again. Pull the chest through. Push the back of your head against an imaginary wall. let's take our scorpion stretch here. So lowering all the way down, left arm reaches out to the side, plant the right palm down, bend through the right leg, pushing through the right palm. We're bringing the right toes closer to the left hand. Head can be resting on the mat. And slowly start to unravel. Come through center, let everything square up first, and then extend to the right arm. Left hand remains planted, bend through the left foot, reach the left toes towards the right hand. Settle the head onto your mat. Fix your gaze. When we focus our gaze, it helps to focus our mind. And slowly start to unravel. And then we're going to roll over onto our backs. Let's get set up for a bretzel. So extending through the right leg to start, shift onto the outside of the right hip, let the left knee fall across the body. Right hand comes onto the outside of the left knee, and then we're bending through the right leg. See if you can find the right foot with the left hand, and then you want to push your hips forward. Try to bring your your right knee, this one, further away from you. You want to feel a quad stretch in this right leg. Opening the chest up towards the ceiling. Make any micro adjustments that you need. You can close out the eyes or steady the gaze on one focal point. Release the right foot with the left hand. And square everything up slowly, slowly. Bend through both legs. Take a moment here. And then straighten through the left leg. Shift onto the outside of the left hip, right knee falls across body, left hand on the outside of the right knee. And then bend through the bottom left leg, find the foot with the hand, pull the left knee further behind you, push the hips forward. Keep the chest open up towards the ceiling. Release the left foot with the right hand, extend through the left leg. Slowly unravel and square everything up. Both legs are bent, bringing the feet the width of your mat and windshield wiper. Square yourself up again. Lengthen through the tailbone. Legs can be straight or keep them bent. If they're bent, the knees fall against one another. Arms can be out to the side. I always like to do cactus arms. We're going to do 4 rounds of box breathing for a count of 4. And let's begin. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Lungs should be full. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Continue the exhale or hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Continue the exhale or hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last round. Inhale. At the top, take in 1 more sip of air. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Return to your normal breathing. If you really feel this in your wrists, your forearms throughout the day, be sure to give yourself some more of those opposing stretches. I thank you so much for joining me for day 11, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for day 12. And in closing, we say, Namaste.